Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Soul Sessions, featured here on Wrestling Public. My guest with me today is main event Monet. Monet, how you doing?
Hello, thanks for having me. Yeah, so basically what he said, main event Monet is in the building, so here to take over.
Hey, that's what we like to see. So, Shay, obviously, for our viewers who are not familiar with yourself, who is Shay Monet?
So Shay Monet is the weapon of sass destruction. Shay Monet is main event Monet. It's Here Comes the Monet. Overall, what he is someone who is like a different persona. So it's who I am on the inside, and I'm channeling that to the outside to show people just be yourself, have fun with it, and there's a place for everybody that fit in. So yeah, that is Shay Monet. Shay Monet is different, and is a guide, shall we say, to the abnormal. So everyone that's not normal, that is Shay Monet.
Oh well, very much. So very much like a symbolic, cocoon butterfly sort of transformation.
I guess so. Yeah, it's me just sprouting out of the cocoon.
Very much so. So, what was your initial, introduction to wrestling? Was it something you watched as a kid, or was it just something you found caught on later?
So originally, so I actually started off in the games. I didn't watch it as much at first. Once I started playing the games, I can't remember the exact game it was, but it was like an arcade style graphics. And I remember playing as China and Eddie Guerrero, wasn't it? And then I was like, okay, well, I need to give it a shot and watch it. And then when I started watching it, I was like, yeah, it's as good as the games, if not better. And then I took a break from it around, I would say 2005, 2006 kind of era. And then 2007, I got SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 as a Christmas present. And I was like, remember wrestling? Like, as if I'm all grown up now. And I went back to watching it. And then I was like, that was me back tuned into it. So I eventually was like, yeah, I need to do this. So that brings me where I am today.
Well, hey, good, starting progress and then moving on to. So, what was the training like? Who was it that you trained under as well?
So originally, I started off on a school, PBW, Premier British Wrestling. So I originally started there. I was the closest one to me at the time. So just kind of like anybody else, sort of in like Scotland area. Like when you're growing up, you think wrestling is very an American thing. So you wouldn't be familiar with like a lot of Scottish promotions and stuff like that. And then as something as simple as Googling wrestling, Glasgow, Scotland, stuff like that, it appears all the results. And then PBW was the closest one to me. So I was like, I'm going to go. I sent an email to them. They were like, yeah, you can just pop in next week. And I went, and yeah, that's where it happened. That's where it took off. And now look where I am today.
Yeah, look, you've done well for yourself. You've been featured on ICW, one of the glorious Scottish promotions. Talk about being a part of ICW.
Oh, so ICW has been really exciting for me. So I debuted when it was closed doors. So there was no fans. It was still COVID. So they were still filming, however. So I had debuted during that time. So you've kind of got it's almost like two different things, because even though you're featured in ICW, you don't know what it's going to be like when the fans return. So it's a different atmosphere. So I would say I had two debuts for it. So the first one was against Ian Skinner. So when I was contacted to wrestle him, I was actually already familiar with Ian Skinner. So it wasn't. How do I explain it? it was a surprise really that I had him because we know each other very well. So it was like, okay, good. So I know this person outside of wrestling. I'm already familiar with them. So I felt comfortable and I trusted him. And then I remember the show back on when fans were there. So when the fans first came back, I was like so nervous backstage, but I was like, I'm made to do this. Like, this is what I'm here for. And then once I came out and I got the reaction that I did, I was like, yeah, ICW is a place for me to be. Like, it's just been such a roller coaster of different feelings. Like, there's not a single time where I'm relaxed. I'm always like nervous, or I'm always excited, or the adrenaline is rushing through me. So maybe it's promotion or in the UK. I'm very grateful to on it as one of the main members of the roster, and I'm grateful that they're keeping me around because I think I show something that no one else has.
Definitely, you're a very charismatic individual in the ring, so it's definitely great stuff you're bringing to ICW as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
No worries. Any aspiration for going for gold in ICW?
Oh, I mean, it's like it's like a game of snakes and ladders. You climb the ladder, you go down the snake. That's kind of how it is. But I feel like with myself, before I go for any type of goal, I have a mark to leave. So people to remember shame. It's as a rare, as I don't even know what else, as a human being. But my main focus right now is dealing with what needs to be dealt with. Am I worthy for a gold opportunity? Which I would say so I am. But I'm waiting until the time is right, and then that's when I'll strike.
Like, strike ferocious and go in and just get that gold, eh?
Yeah, so well, it's expect the unexpected. So let them shall we say that I'm not it, and then you hit them when it hurts.
Oh, that's the style. That is the style. Well, I mean, you've done well for yourself because obviously you were featured on the QWI 200 list, which you came number 92.
Yes,
just wondering what your thoughts were on that.
Yes, that was shocking. Because when they 200, yeah, 200, yeah. Yeah, I think it was 200. So when the list was originally revealed, I saw a lot of people down my area getting announced pretty early for it. So they were getting 180, maybe 150, stuff like that. So like Versailles, Priscilla, I'm trying to think, like Joey Scott, etc. Like I'm getting announced pretty quick. So I thought all the people in my area are already getting announced. So the chances are I'm not on it. Because if these people are like at 180 and all that, then I'm not. And then when it got to the 90s, I was the number I was. It was a pleasant surprise. It definitely took me back. Took me a moment to actually be like, wow, like this is really happening. Like so coming back, so I've been injured. Well, say I had one big serious injury with my knee. So coming back, I was like started from all the way at the bottom. How am I going to do this? Like, what do I need to do to basically elevate myself to the next level? Seeing the number I'd get, it was very much like, yeah, I'm doing good. Like, I need to keep doing this. So hopefully now I'll be maybe top 50 if I'm pushing
Ooh.
it. But fingers crossed. You can only hope and pray that you keep moving up on the list because,
Mhm.
well, technically down because you want to be in in the
Ah.
number one sex slot. But if I keep doing what I'm doing and there's a lot of stuff that's coming up, which I'm not ready to announce. But if I keep doing what I'm doing successfully, then
Mhm.
I hope to see my name next year in the top 50, and then it'll be even less, and then even less as the years go on. So, yeah,
Well, hey,
that is me for that
use
list.
that
So,
Scottish charm. You'll be absolutely perfect.
yes, it's a more. I would say it's a motivation thing to do. So you see
Mhm.
your name on the list. Okay, now I want to see my name even closer to the number one slot. So yeah, that's what I need to do.
Yeah, nah, you'll get there. Get something you announced as well on your Instagram as well was a live pro wrestling, an event being held, just celebrating the LGBTQ community, everything as well. I just want to know what
Yeah.
was your, passion behind this event as well.
So during kind of before COVID, and then throughout COVID, chats about like being LGBTQ and being a wrestler.
Mhm.
However, anyone that I speak to knows that I don't identify as an LGBTQ wrestler. I identify as a wrestler who just so happens to be a part of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
However, some people will identify strictly as an LGBTQ wrestler. However, the thing that I want to show is that my sexuality isn't me as a wrestler. It just so
Mhm.
happens to be that I am a member of the community. So basically, there was some comments that were made that were highly inappropriate. So, for example, quite a few times now, people have mentioned that they're scared to have me in shows because they don't know how their fans would react. When even saying that is kind of homophobic.
Mhm.
So there was that. I had spoken to a few other people who were LGBTQ wrestlers, and they had promoters actually say to them, "We cannot use you on our shows because we already have a gay person on the show." And it's like, really? Like,
Ooh.
we're going with that? So it's like, it kind of goes back to the whole um, thing of like, also you can only have one woman on a show, or you can only have one person of color on a show, or you can only have one different race on a show. Like, is that really how
Mhm.
we're operating still? Um, so very much like I wanted to show, even though this is for LGBTQ show, etc. However, there's still people on this show who aren't a member of the LGBTQ. They're heterosexuals, etc. But
Mhm.
the point of this show is to promote non-segregation, to show it doesn't matter if you're gay, it doesn't matter if you're black, it doesn't matter if you're Asian, etc. The thing is, we're all wrestlers. We all do the same job. We all bleed blood like at the same time. So it's just kind of like, just because you're different or may look different from a person, it does not mean that you can't do the same job. Like, we're all there,
Mhm.
we're all wrestlers, it doesn't matter. So my whole main thing for running this show, basically prove that regardless of the circumstances of your personal life, as a wrestler, this is the talent we have. So this is our talent. Let us show you that we can wrestle just as good as the 10 other straight guys that you've got in that show.
No, good, good. No, it's always good to break down like all these barriers and just let people be people and just celebrate what we all do as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's
Mhm.
just gonna, what decade are we living in now? That's my message to the people who are still going by, like, oh no, I can't have a gay person on my show and stuff like that. Like, why not? Because
Mm.
we're going to overshadow your biggest star. Like, is that how you're feeling? Like, I don't know, like, if it's like a threatening thing or something like that, or they're worried that they might have backlash and stuff like that. But
Mm.
I think telling someone that we can't use you because you're gay it's more of a backlash than anything you'll get. So
No, I know, of course. I mean, we're seeing the big companies as well, breaking down these barriers. Impact's got multiple people of all different races and orientations, AEW as well, and Ring of Honor as well. Do you think like the big companies are doing enough as well?
yes and no. Well, yeah. I would say now it's starting to pick up. However, they would do this thing where, so I wouldn't find it offensive. So if someone wanted me to play a role, so say AEW signed me and they wanted me to do a role where I was in love with someone, like maybe I was in love with one of the guys and stuff like that, I would not mind that. However, doing like, for example, when WWE done like Billy and Chuck, like these are like they both are heterosexual men in real life, so it's kind of like in a way it's like asking, it's like casting a gay person in a movie, but then asking the straight guy to play the gay guy. As much as like I don't find that a big offense, but it's more the case of like they stereotype it. So like Goldust, for example, as much as I absolutely love Goldust, but they had him in a wig and stuff like that, and it's just kind of like not everyone is like that. If you choose to be like that, so for example, Visage does the full drag look, and they've got like the wig on and stuff like that. That's completely fine. However, it's not for everybody, if that makes sense. So just because one person does it and they're part of the LGBTQ community, it doesn't mean everyone does it. Like everyone's different. Like I know people who are gay and they just wrestle like everybody else. Like they've got no gimmick, stuff like that. It's just like they're literally just another wrestler. So I would say back to the question, sorry. I would say they're definitely advertising a lot more. You have your Sunny Kiss, you have your Sonia Deville's, etc., broadcasted on your AEW and your WWE, your big platforms. However, for example, I think me personally, I would like to see a bit more risk material, if that makes sense. Like classic Attitude Era. Like I would like to be in a position of I would do a storyline using, like I would love to do. You remember the Mickey and Trish angle?
Oh yeah.
Mickey James is Trish's biggest fan and falls in love. That I would love to play a role like that. That would be like wrestling is storytelling. Like it's a story you're telling. So if I was to be able to get an opportunity to do something like that on a big show, I know some people who probably like no don't want to do it because you're just doing it because I'm gay and stuff like that. Whereas I'd be like, no, I want to do it because it's interesting, it's fun, it's different. Like I still to this day say to myself, do so I don't know if it's ever been done or anything like that. Like obviously you got Billy and Chuck and all that, but I will do eventually the first ever LGBTQ couple on live screen. This will be male and male couple on a tag team. Like I don't care if it's my fake boyfriend. Like it's just like an idea because you don't see it as much. You really don't see it. Normally you'll see the boyfriend and the girlfriend together. So like you see like Lana and Rusev and stuff like that, or you see who else is on screen couple. My God, my mind just went so blank.
I'm thinking of Adam Cole.
Who's an on-screen couple? Yes, like it's always male and female. So I want to see like two guys do it for a change. Like let's break down the walls. Let's see what it's gone about. And hey, like that is a perfect tag team as well. Like go for the gold.
No, it works perfectly well. Say if one of the big companies, WWE, Impact, or AEW, came to you with that storyline, you get to be the fan obsessed with some wrestler. Who wrestler would it be for that storyline for you?
Oh, what promotion are we talking?
Oh, go any of them. You got multiple choices. Picking.
Okay. So let's start with we'll start with WWE. Oh, if I need to be a big fan of someone. See, I feel like you could go for the common choice, which would be like a Dolph Ziggler or something like that.
I
Like a
see.
very pretty boy. But then it would be good to almost flip it. You know how like when Mandy and Otis done their
Oh
spot
yes, that
together?
that was yeah, that was
So
good.
it's kind of like you could almost flip it and like, could you imagine doing it with someone like off the top of my head, like could you imagine someone who's just normally in a serious role or something like that, and
Mm.
or maybe not the most charismatic, but needs that push to kind of come out of their shell. Um, so let me think off the top of my head in WWE, who would be a great suggestion to do that with?
I'm thinking.
Uh,
I mean,
it's a hard one. It
There's
really
always
isn't.
Brock Lesnar.
Do you know that he was the first person that was in my mind? But I was like, I'd get killed the
Oh,
second I was a step in the ring with him. Someone kind of like who maybe does like a darker role or something like that. Like,
hmm.
um,
What about Finn Balor?
I would definitely do it with Finn Balor. Finn Balor definitely. Could you imagine doing it with like a Baron Corbin or something like that as well? It's a bit like it's different because
Mm,
depending on their current gimmick, or like a Kofi Kingston or something, someone so unexpected that it's just like
wow.
this is so weird. AEW wise, oh, there's a lot of different couples in AEW now. You've got Ty and oh my god, why have I forgotten his name?
Sammy Guevara.
Yes, yes. Oh, I forgot his name. I should call him Jimmy.
No.
um, like, could you imagine doing it with like a Chris Jericho or something like that? Someone who has been about for quite a long time and who would
Mm,
generally have fans that would be like this, who would be obsessed with them. And like, I
mm.
would happily do it with Chris Jericho or even like Tommaso Ciampa or Pete Dunne, like someone
Oh.
so out the box like that that you don't know. The storyline could go either way. Like, could it be like a happy ending? Could it be a complete flip? Could it turn like? But
Mm,
I like storylines that are almost different out of the box, so you don't know what's going to come next, or you like expect the unexpected because you get the
mm,
cliches where you maybe like it is a case of like you could do the Mickey and Trish angle completely from start to finish. However, you can eventually flip it where maybe the person who was the obsessive fan start getting some
mhm.
bit more spotlight and they come away from the person and then it flips. So the wrestler ends up obsessed with the fan and stuff like that. Like there's just so many ideas. I have a wide
There's the
imagination,
storyline
so things
potentials.
things just run through my mind and I'm just like, yeah, like, and then if I was to do it with someone in my local area, like an ICW, I would love to do it with like a Daz Black, if you're familiar with Daz Black.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, good
Someone,
call there. Good call.
yeah, something
Well,
different. And plus, he's got gold. No, he's not. He's not got gold right now.
no.
But I'd still do it with him.
Well, maybe a future storyline we'll see for ICW then. Who knows?
ICW, if you watch this, hint, I'm
Hint.
dropping a storyline. Do
Keyword hint.
it.
Come on.
Do it.
Well, speaking of Shay as well, you've got a debut with TNT at their Summer Explosion show against Prestige, and and the outcome of that match is the winner gets to face Effie at GCW versus TNT. I just want to know
Yeah.
how would you feel if you won that match and got to face Effie?
What do you mean if I that match? You mean I am going to win that match and
Fair
face
point. Fair
Effie?
point.
You don't walk in with the attitude of I might win this. I'm going to win this. Um, at the same time, though, it's a big moment because again, it's two guys from the LGBTQ community basically on a wrestling match. So it's kind of like a good sign of showing the fans that we're capable of doing it. We can wrestle. We don't, as much as we give character and stuff like that, we can still go in the ring. So this is going to be like a huge proving point for me and Visage when we go one-on-one, because we need to show we can go just as much as any other people in this locker room. But to face Effie, I mean, he's coming over the States for a reason. So let's not waste his time with broken down Visage. Let's let Visage retire, put their feet up, enjoy their nice cup of tea in their care home, and let the pro take over. But other than that, though, if I'm completely honest, I wouldn't mind a triple threat there.
Oh, well, hey, there's always an option.
There's an option.
That would be very well suited for main event O'Shea.
Yes, so it's very much like, I don't know how to explain it. It's exciting. Like, it's really exciting. Do you know what? It's a debut in TNT. TNT is one of the biggest promotions again. So, like, to get an opportunity to even be on the show is a blessing. So the fact that I am not only going to be on the show debuting, but it's against Visage, who is one of TNT's biggest stars. So it's like, in a way of where as well, me and Visage have always chatted about we need a match together. And it's been years and years and years, and Visage has obviously announced retirement. So it's like, this is the year of Visage. So if you're going to give Visage all the matches that they want, this is the year to do so. So right away, here's a check, like Visage versus Shea Monet. Buy your tickets, come and see it, because I'm about to knock this bitch's wig off. I'm sorry if I can't swear.
Nah, fucking go for it. Well done there, pal. Well done there. Go for it. But thanks for coming on, Shane. We're reaching the end of our time here. But one final thought. What is the rest of 2022 looking like for you?
22 is looking very bright at the moment. So I'm just recovering from a minor injury on the elbow. However, this coming Friday is ICW's Shug's House Party, which is one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, which Shea Monet will be featured on. So make sure you get tickets to that. Then you've got TNT on August 25th. Make sure you get your tickets to that. You'll see me versus Visage. Make sure you get your TNT tickets in September, because you'll see me versus Effie, because I'm already winning. But other than that, my face is going to be popping up a lot more, so you better be ready for Shea Monet, because this bitch bites back.
Well, folks, you've heard it here, and that's all you need to know. Thank you for coming on, Shea. It's a pleasure having you here.
Good. Thank you so much. And make sure you get this t-shirt.
Hey, get the merch, rock the merch, and represent. That is it. That's all. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. No, thanks, guys, for tuning in to another episode. Remember, all your wrestling needs, follow at Wrestling Republic, and more episodes of the Soul Session as well on the YouTube channel. It's been great to have you here. And as I say to everyone, be kind to one another and have a lovely day. Thanks, guys.